Hi, it's Sharon Christie with Bold Women Lawyers, your business strategist and business coach for solo and small firm lawyers. And I apologize if you hear a little background noise because it turns out that the people who cut our grass, who I'm very grateful for, have decided to do it right now, and they were just passing by my window. But I think they're gone, so we should be fine. So what am I talking about today? It's time management. And as a business coach, as I said, for lawyers in solo and small law firms, I get this question a lot, or this complaint a lot. I can't get everything done. I get to the end of the day and I feel like I haven't accomplished much. I'm not good at managing my time. Time just gets away from me. We all have days like that. The problem is when we consistently have days like that. So what's this all about? Well, I said in a blog post recently, and I'll say it again here. To me, time management is not about managing your time. That part, honestly, is pretty easy. It is about failing to set your priorities and then failing to honor your boundaries to meet those priorities. So I think that when you look at your time management for yourself, and if you feel like you have issues with it, you first have to look at your priorities. Have you even set them? Have you set your goals? And you've heard this time and time again, I am sure. You want to set your goals at least for the year, for the quarter, for the month, for the week, and then day to day. And it's easy when you get in the habit of doing it. So there's a million different tools out there for goal setting. I happen to use one called Power Sheets that I find very, very helpful because it allows you to go through a series of steps to do what they call the pre-work, to set yourself up to decide what your goals are and how you're going to meet them. And then it's set up in a way that you do consistently review them every week, every month, every quarter to see if you need some reset. So I find that very helpful, but I've tried a lot of different methods over the years. And honestly, I think you just have to, there's not one that fits everybody. You have to try a few. And when you find one that works for you, stick with it. That's the answer for you, and just stick with it. Because once you have set those priorities and you have narrowed it down, not just, I want to make X $100,000 in revenue this year. That's a great, goal for the year, but you have to break that way down in terms of how am I going to get there? How much business do I need? What types of cases? How long will they last? How much revenue will they generate? How many new clients do I need to get that revenue that I'm looking for, et cetera? So it's all part of that breakdown. And you break it down into really small chunks that ultimately are your day-to-day activities. Some of it is not activity that's sent by you. I mean, we all know as lawyers, we have deadlines. We might have court deadlines or we have client deadlines. But it doesn't matter who has set those deadlines. There are deadlines that are out of our immediate control. So when you're looking at your daily tasks or your weekly tasks or your monthly tasks, you know that some of that is already going to be filled in by somebody other than you, because the court says discovery has to be done in the next 90 days. And that means you've got 2 depositions this week and 3 the week after. Or the client says, I am selling this business and I'm in active talks with somebody and I need a draft contract by the end of the week. Well, you know what that deadline is for you. So you put in those into your task list. What are those deadlines, those things that have already been set for you? And then you look at all the other things you need to accomplish. both on the legal side, the client work, and on the business side. And by that, I'm talking about running your business. So the time for marketing, the time for financial review, the time for perhaps staff reviews, the time for working on your business processes. That you're going to want to make sure you have made a list of those tasks that need to be done, and of course, how frequently they need to be done. So that's where your priority list will come from. These are the things that need to be done. You'll get out of that list what are the things I need to do as opposed to what I can delegate. And the things that you need to do, those are the things that then will generate your task list that you will break down into your daily tasks. And once you've done that, you're well on your way, but you're not there. Okay, so first you set your priorities, then you're going to block out time each day for those tasks that need to be done for that particular day. I like to do it, of course I do it for the whole week at a time, but I also look ahead to see, what else is coming up. But at least you have to make sure that at the beginning of the week, you've set out your plan for the week, right? Great. Now you've done that. You know what your priorities are. You know what tasks have to be done to meet those priorities, to meet your goals. That's great. Why does it still not work? Because for many of us, it still doesn't work. What's going on? The next step is to honor your own boundaries. Stop your distractions. I think for everybody that I work with, this is the hardest part. So what are those distractions? Email, texts, phone calls, social media. Those are the ones that I find are consistently the distractions that are keeping people from managing their time properly and ultimately are keeping them from reaching their goals. It's all about honoring your own boundaries. And the thing about it is this. When I work with people, when I work with lawyers, what I find is that they are great at honoring boundaries when they're doing client work. Don't bother me. Don't interrupt me. I have to finish this motion. I have to finish this document. Okay? I have to finish this will, whatever it is you're working on. Lawyers are great at just blocking everything out so they can get those tasks done. What they're not great at is continuing to honor those boundaries so that you can get the business-related tasks done. What you need to do with regard to your marketing, what you need to do with regard to finances, with your staff, with your team, setting aside time for those tasks and then eliminating your distractions while you're doing those tasks. It is just so hard for all of us to turn off the email, to turn off the phone, to disconnect. And yet, when we do that, we are super productive. I mean, if I told you that if you would turn off your phone, turn off your email, turn off your social media, take all of that stuff off your computer and off your phone and just shut it all down, except for an hour mid-morning, or I'm sorry, a half an hour mid-morning and a half an hour late in the afternoon. If I told you that if you did that and you did it every single day, that you could accomplish in 3 days what it's now taking you 5 days or more to accomplish, would you do it? Of course you would. We all would. And you know what? If you would stop those distractions and limit yourself to 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, and stick to it, you're going to find that you can accomplish in 3 days what's now taking you 5 days because you are constantly allowing yourself to be distracted. This client called. This email came in. Ooh, there is an interesting article there on LinkedIn, or ooh, I really like this post I see on Instagram, or maybe I'm going to do a little shopping online, okay? And you end up having to work so many more hours than if you just let that all go, get your work done. And then, you can spend as much time in the evening hours as you want, scrolling through Facebook and other social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, I don't have to tell you what they are, TikTok, just looking at fun stuff, looking at personal stuff, responding to personal posts, personal emails. You can spend all the time you want doing that, but it's when you're doing it in the middle of what you've deemed your work day, that means you're really not going to get your work done. So my advice to you is very simple. Set your priorities, block out time on your calendar for the week for all of the tasks that you know must be done, and then turn off those distractions while you're doing those tasks. Allow yourself time during the day to look at the email. Obviously, you're going to respond to client email, to scroll through social media, to get on the internet and do whatever you want to do. Allow yourself time, but limit it. Make it very limited. And that's how you're going to be able to manage your time much, much more effectively. So I hope you found this helpful. If you want more tips on running your business, go to my website at boldwomenlawyers.com. You can download my solo success guide. It's really for solo and small firm attorneys. Gives you a lot of tips about mindset, about marketing, about management of a law firm. So, I think that will help you as you build your business and make your way to a successful business. And make sure you follow me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram. And that's where you're going to find me giving you a lot more tips. And of course, I do LinkedIn Live at least once a week. So follow me on LinkedIn Live. Let's connect, and I'll be bringing you more tips for a successful business. I hope you have a great rest of your day.